Welcome, true believers, to Badwolf Comics. I'm your host, the Badwolf, and today we have custom dust jackets for the Uncanny X-Men's Volumes 1 through 5. Welcome back, true believers, to another Badwolf Comics custom dust jacket video. Today, we finally have the Uncanny X-Men's Volumes 1 through 5 custom dust jackets. I have had these first four for several months, and I was waiting for Volume 5 to come out. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at these. You see the front dust jackets, but we're going to take a look here, and I was lucky enough to be able to get the matching spines on all four books. Looks great, right? And then Marvel, in their infinite wisdom, once again, disappoints. Come on, guys. I mean, we went with this for years. Volume 5 is now going to have this small font, which means if you don't have access to custom dust jackets in some sort of way, this is what you're stuck with. Man, this drives me nuts, man. I'm very OCD about my books. They have to be uniform. They have to look right. So we definitely had to fix this to begin with. Aside from the fact that I abhor this white font. I really like logos better. Has a little more color, shows a little more pop on the shelf, you know, as you can see with a lot of these books here. So we really had to get this taken care of. But yeah, let's get these stacked, and I'll bring the customs up, and we'll get started. All right, let's get started. So we're going to start with Uncanny X-Men Volume 1. When I bought this is the more realistic cover. It's not the original, drawn cover. It's supposed to look more realistic, like they're actual people. And I thought that might be cool, but when I got it here, it looks weird. I just didn't really care for it, so we definitely wanted to change that anyway. But once again, man, this white font, I abhor this stuff, man. We really need to get something better. So once again, Roy came through for me. So for our first cover, I went with this. This has the whole team. It still has a conflict of the team like the original cover does. So I really like that. I just wanted something new, something fresh, something that everyone else didn't have. And then my favorite thing about these, folks, is the spine. We went from this to an actual X-Men logo, and it looks so much better. And when we get finished here, I'll definitely give you a final shot of all five together. It looks so much cleaner, so much nicer. And I was so glad that I had Roy to help me fix this stuff up. And here's the back. I always like to stick with the collected covers in the back. It's actually one of the ways that I actually pick my covers is I look at these and figure out the one I want, and that's what we go with. But first book, that's what we're looking at. Let's move on to the next. Oh, cover came off a little there. And here we have Uncanny X-Men Volume 1, very iconic cover. It was a great cover, don't get me wrong. I really liked this cover. But as I say, I always want to change it up a little bit. And once again, we have the collected covers in the back. But in place of this iconic cover, I went with another very iconic cover. As far as the X-Men goes, Magneto is one of my favorite villains, or anti-heroes, I should say. And we went with this cover. I really like this cover. I've loved it for years. It was one of my favorites back in the day in single issues when I was collecting those. And so we went ahead and went with Magneto versus the X-Men. It was really good. I like it. And once again, our amazing new spines. Night and day options here, folks. They look really good. And then, of course, we have our collections on the back. But yeah, again, I'd like to know which cover do you think you would go with? I almost went with the Days of Future Past cover with Wolverine and Kitty Pryde in the front with a spotlight on them. I almost went with that, but I think I settled on this. Big Magneto fan, so for me, this is what we ended up going with. Let's look at Volume 3. Volume 3. I didn't really care for this cover when it came out. I looked at a lot of the other different covers, and I found a few that were much better. Like there's the one where Psyche is carrying Xavier's lifeless body, and the team's behind him. That one's really good. There's a few more. There's a couple of Wolverine covers in here, and so I'm not sure why they added some Wolverine issues here for double dipping when we have all the Wolverine Omnis. But this was a Volume 3 at the time, so maybe those Wolverines weren't out yet. I honestly don't know. But we definitely hadn't made an improvement over this cover with this cover. This is just before Angel became Archangel, and I really enjoyed this cover a lot more than I cared for this one. I usually try and go for something with a team picture on it, but this one was a very powerful shot. It was a very powerful cover, and I really liked this one, so we went ahead and went with the Archangel. Or the beginnings of Archangel, I should say. And once again, our spines. And then our backs. It's never going to be different, folks. I always like those collected covers in the back. Well, I shouldn't say never. There are a few that Roy came up with some better designs in the back, and so we went ahead with that. But most often, I go with the collected covers. All right. Let's take a look at Volume 4. So Volume 4, much like the Volume 3, I just didn't care for the cover that Marvel went with. There were better options, there were better ideas, and we went ahead and picked one of those. So let's take a look. Much more powerful cover again. I really like this cover as opposed to... I didn't have very many choices. Looking at all the backs of these and looking at all the cover choices that I had, they just didn't have a lot of great covers for this book, but this is the one we went with because this is the best one I could find that I actually liked. Again, I usually try and do team pictures, but these last few books didn't really have a whole lot of team pictures on their covers, so we just went ahead and went with the most powerful cover that I could find, one that really stood out to me, and it was definitely the Cyclops. I really like the fact that the X-Men logo is incorporated into the cover, like it's breaking with his optic blast. It looks really good. Really liked it. And same old, same old. New spines, same back, and we will move on to the final book here. These videos get shorter and shorter sometimes. And Volume 5. Now, I didn't really care for this cover, but I actually bought that cover on purpose because I knew I was going to do a custom dust jacket, and I wasn't sure if I was going to use the Magneto and Chains, and as I've always said, I do like to make sure that I have a new cover if I'm going to do it. I have a few books where I literally only change the spine, and I might actually do a video of those all together because the covers aren't changing, it's just the spine, but just to show you folks the difference in spines, I may just do a video of changed spines one day and just get a stack of those books. But for now, we're stuck with this, and there was a couple of different covers that were really good here, and I almost went with the Magneto cover, but again, I wanted something that not everyone else had, because that was one of the variant covers. A lot of people have it. It's a great cover, don't get me wrong, Magnus and Chains. But we went ahead and went with this, which is our two leaders of the X-Men battling it out, going head-to-head, Cyclops and Storm battling for the leader of the X-Men. I really just felt this is a much more powerful cover, and so we went ahead and went with this. But yeah, again, there's a lot of different covers to choose from. So I mean, I just went through the covers and picked the one I liked best. But we had to fix the spine, especially with this. It just had to be done. And if any future volumes, Roy's already got me covered. We're already going to be making new dust jackets for any future volumes that come out. The same with the Wolverine books. 4 is on its way. It's already pre-ordered. 5 isn't even pre-orderable yet, but it should be out. It says April, but more likely it'll be summer of next year. And that's where we'll go with that. So I'm going to probably do a custom dust jacket video of the 3 Wolverines I have, and then we'll do an updated version down the road once 5 comes out. But let's take a look at these together so you can see the difference of the spines side by side, and then we'll get our final shot. And here's our side-by-side spine shot. As you can see, it's night and day, folks. It's a very huge improvement for the spines, in my opinion. I don't know why Marvel is deciding to change the font. Maybe they're just trying to update things, but if they're going to do that, they should really give us some kind of an option to maybe purchase an extra dust jacket that has the correct font. Maybe even just purchase a spine insert so your books will be uniform. Now, I have noticed, even with Marvel, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but when I'm looking at these are much more deeper, vibrant red up here, whereas this one is a little faded, almost an orange tint to it. Well, my printer has actually been doing the same thing. It's not as lush, deep red. It is a slightly duller red. I'm trying to get that figured out because it bugs me a little bit, so not enough that I can't deal with it, but enough that I want to get it fixed. But that's it for our custom dust jackets. Let's get our final shot. And that's our custom dust jackets for the Uncanny X-Men's Volumes 1 through 5. I really like the fact that these logos now match. The spines are good. They look great on the shelf. and it's just an overall upgrade in general. Here's the covers that I chose. Let me know in the comments below if you guys would have chosen a different cover, or if you like the covers we got, or if there's something specific that you would have done differently. I want to hear about it. I enjoy reading the comments. Once again, big shout out to Roy. Thanks for helping out with these. Without Roy, none of this is possible. I can print, I can trim, I can cover these in Brodart covers, but I don't have the ability to make the file. So thank you, Roy, once again for helping me out with this project. But stick around, true believers. Bad Wolf Comics has more in store. In the coming weeks, I'll put up a poll on the Bad Wolf Comics Facebook group asking which one of these customs you want to see next in an overview. Now, I do get 99% of my books from Organic Price Books, so for those of you that shop at Organic Price Books, don't forget to use the code BADWOLF during checkout for $2 off your order. With that said, I am the Bad Wolf. This is Bad Wolf Comics. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.